I'm sure you'd like to hear a few words from. We have Lieutenant Governor Ralph Northern. Good afternoon, and thank you all so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to be here for such an important mission. And to those that have lost family members to gun violence, I offer my condolences. I can tell you that I have an interesting perspective on gun violence. I grew up on the Eastern Shore of Virginia, hunting and fishing. I know the importance of guns to that culture. I also served in the United States Army, so I know well firsthand what military-style assault weapons to human bodies. And then finally, as a pediatric neurologist in Norfolk, Virginia, I have taken care of too many of our youth who have been the victims of gun violence, whether it be homicide, suicide, or gun accidents. So I appreciate all of you all being here today, and I would reiterate what Senator McEachin said: be patient, but be strong in your values and principles, and we will do this together. We're not asking for a lot. We're merely asking that guns be kept away from those in the hands that they shouldn't be in, with universal background checks, with closing the gun show loophole. So I thank you all for your efforts, for being here today, and we'll move forward together, especially it's great seeing the youth that were here today. This is your future. This is what we're fighting for. So thank you all so much. And now a person who's been appointed by our new governor and Secretary of Public Safety, Brian Moran.
Good afternoon. What do you say we give Andy Goddard a hand for organizing this event? As a veteran of the legislature, I am very pleased to see this crowd grow year after year. Now it's time to get some legislation passed. On behalf of Governor McAuliffe, let me tell you, you now have a champion in the governor's office for reasonable, sensible gun measures to prevent gun violence. I'm particularly proud and pleased to be joined by the First Lady of the Commonwealth of Virginia, Dorothy McAuliffe, is here. You heard from our wonderful new Attorney General, our Lieutenant Governor. Nice to see them both here. I don't think they were actually here last year. Your office holders weren't here last year. Anybody, were they here last year? I suspect not. I suspect not. It is a new day in Virginia. On behalf of Governor McAuliffe, let me say that he, throughout the campaign as candidate McAuliffe, time and time again said he was a supporter of the Second Amendment. He, in fact, himself was a gun owner. But he believed that we could pass and should pass reasonable and sensible laws to prevent gun violence here in Virginia. That is why, as governor, Governor McAuliffe has stated his unequivocal support to close the gun show loophole and to impose universal background checks. These are two measures that are long overdue. But I know, working with these wonderful legislators who have joined you here today and those that are serving us in the General Assembly building now, we can get this done with your support. And if it is not done this year, then we will be back next year to get these laws passed to ensure our young people and all Virginians are indeed safe. Thank you very much for being here.
Return to the visual portion of our program and the closing litany, and you should be able to have the responses on the cards that were given out to you. It will be read by Reverend Wallace Adams Riley. Thank you.
So if you can get your hands on one of these with the blue covers, we'll be turning to the second page, so opening up to a litany on responding to gun violence, into instruments of healing. I will say a line and then you are invited to respond in each case with the bolded lines. We celebrate and give thanks for the life and witness of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. We gather, remembering his words, his commitment, his life, and to rededicate ourselves to addressing the evil of gun violence. More than 32,000 Americans die by guns each year in the United States. An average of 88 people are killed by guns every day, including 8 children. Guns kill some 1,000 people each day in the developing world. An American child is 12 times more likely to die by a gun than are the children who live in all 25 industrialized nations combined. The annual economic cost of gun violence in America is estimated to be at least $100 billion. Medical costs, decimated families, the court system, our jails and prisons, and security measures in airports, schools, and public buildings all contribute to this sum. Since John F. Kennedy was assassinated in 1963, more Americans have died by gunfire within our own country than American servicemen and women who were killed in all our wars of the 20th century. Faced with gun violence, faced with gun violence, may we educate, organize, advocate, and work in all the ways we can for that day when guns and weapons of destruction are transformed into instruments of healing. May it be so. Amen. Amen. Amen.
Okay, that then brings the end of our formal part of our program, but since I didn't get to make my opening remarks, I now have the microphone. It's our custom to hold a moment of silence in honor of those that are killed. But late last year, when I attended a vigil at the National Cathedral in Washington, organized by the Newtown Action Alliance, I learned of a different way to honor the dead. I'm wearing a button which they gave me, which states their motto, honor with action. Don't get me wrong, silence is a good thing. It allows us to reflect. But silence does nothing to effect change, and change is what we need. Too many of our political leaders have been holding a moment of silence on the subject of gun violence, which has lasted almost uninterrupted since about 1993. They did hold a moment of speaking after Newtown, but isn't that backwards? Now it's time to break the silence and demand some action. The final thing is I'd like you to indulge me a little bit here. We'll do a little experiment. I'd like you to look at the red hearts that you can see. You probably can't see all of them, but it's 822. If you could hold them up, everybody. 822. Now I would like everyone here to please close your eyes for a moment and imagine in your mind's eye that in place of those hearts, the people who they commemorate were standing here before us as they were when they were alive. What a crowd that would be. Imagine them as men and women, young and old, from many racial and ethnic backgrounds, rich and poor, Democrat and Republican, and at least 28 of them children. Keep that picture in your mind. If they were here today, what would we say to them? What would they say to us? And finally, what would they say if they could walk up the hill with us at the end of this event and speak to their legislators
as we will speak to ours. Now open your eyes and see that they are not here. Sadly, they are not with us. Their memory lingers in the hearts of those that knew them and loved them in life. Their voices are silent. We can only hear them in our imaginations. It's as if they bequeathed to us their voices, and I imagine them saying what so many survivors and victims' families say: I don't want what happened to me to happen to anyone else. We still have our voices, and we must speak for them. We will speak for them. Thank you.